Hey guys. So, last few days I have been debating on the videos coming up. I know you probably get tired of the intermission videos, but some of this stuff takes time because, like the get home alive bag. In my particular case, I'm making myself a new setup, so that means that I have to select equipment if I don't have it and order it specifically for the bag and things like that, right? So, plus I'm trying to deal with my house. Everybody mows grass and stuff like that when you get a house, right? So, having to deal with my house, make modifications to stuff, and also write everything down that I want to do in all the videos and so forth, because it's a lot of stuff, and I don't want to leave out any details for you guys. So I ended up deciding that I'm going to do the Minuteman videos, and then I'm going to do the land nav videos. I'm going to do the Minuteman videos first, and then I'm going to do the land nav videos. This is going to be, I'm probably going to have 50 videos. Maybe. I don't know. I am my 15-minute videos, right? So, anyway, this morning I was digging some stuff out here because I wanted to talk about your kid and modifications and doing things on a budget and things like that, because I'm setting up 2 sets of equipment. So my equipment is going to be spring, summer, and autumn, winter, right? So that's what it's going to be. So I wrote down some stuff here this morning. So when we are looking at all of these things, we wanna categorize everything. Everything needs to be categorized according to what is needed. Okay, you have to try to cut the fat as much as you can on everything, because you don't want to be loading yourself down too much, especially if you're on a budget. You want to try to be as universal as possible with most of your stuff, so that you don't have to be constantly changing things out and so on. Guys that are rich, that have millions of dollars, and they have a bunker to operate out of and so on, that's great for them. They can have gear lockers galore in their bunker, and they can just select their stuff depending on what time of the year it is, or what the mission is, that sort of thing. But if you're just a regular old guy that's going to his job daily, or you're farming daily, take care of your cattle or whatever, and then you have this stuff on the side, and you have to give yourself an allotment of time for training every week, not every month. Every week you need to train on. You're gonna need to train on wearing your kit and so on. Now the thing about this is that there are a couple of situations here, and we're gonna talk about all the battle gear, right? We're gonna talk about all of this Minuteman stuff from a couple of perspectives. One perspective is the use of battle equipment, right? All of your fighting kit. So if you have a place where you can train, maybe you and your buddies or whatever, great. Put your battle gear on, get out there and train. Don't just train for fighting, okay? You gotta train for stealth. You gotta train for stealth, guys. I'm telling you right now. You have to automatically assume that the opposing forces that's going to be much larger than you. Your little 6-man team or squad, you're nothing. They'll squash you like a bug. You gotta learn. You gotta learn to operate in stealth mode most of the time, because you're gonna die. If you don't, you're gonna die. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep yourself under control. You have to have an extreme amount of discipline. You're gonna have to have an extreme amount of discipline not to engage. I know that if there is an army coming against you on U.S. soil, no matter what kind of army it is, if they're looking to oppress the people, they may use a foreign army to try to do so, right? And I know that you're going to have fire in your blood, and you're going to want to bring the heat to them, but there's a time and place for everything. You need to stay alive so that you can continue the mission. And the objective is not just to whack a few guys and then go out in a blaze of glory. Okay, that is not the objective. The objective is the long walk to the end. Okay, you got to get through to the end. You can't just go out in a blaze of glory in the beginning, because that serves nobody no good. It doesn't serve this country no good, and it doesn't serve your country no good, no matter which country you're in. Okay, it doesn't serve anybody any good for you to go out early. You could spend your time dealing with the enemy piecemeal and just wear them out. Wear them out, guys. Make them fear every shadow. That's the way you gotta be. You gotta make them fear every shadow. You gotta make them so afraid that they will not want to leave their armored vehicles to go and piss in the bush. Okay? Because they're afraid that they're not going to come back. That's the way it's going to have to be. You gotta make it. You just gotta make it like. I knew this guy. Tell you, he was a good friend of mine. He was from Laos, and that guy was so afraid of ghosts. At nighttime, he was afraid of spirits. It was funny. It was funny then, not funny now, because I know much more now than when I did a long time ago. But but you got to be like that guy. You You got to be like that guy. You got to make them afraid of every shadow. That's the way you got to operate. The only time that you will ever, as a Minuteman, the only time you will probably ever engage is in a direct action is because you really need something badly and the enemy has it. But you got to be smart about it. You got to make it. You got to make it to where you're winning. You're going to win that outcome. Not just surviving the outcome. You cannot afford casualties. You try to get 0 casualties on your side, and you gotta make it to where they walk into your ambush, and you wipe them out, and you take their stuff, and that's just the way it has to be. So I was writing this word camouflage, and I still don't even know if I've got it right. I didn't look it up, but I'm going to tell you a funny story because I only got a couple of minutes left. So when I was a little kid, I don't know, I might have been 10 or 12. I would think I was about 12 years old. I was in a spelling bee, and out of 150 kids or so, I got 6th place. I was always pretty good at spelling words, but there was one word that I came up against that I didn't get it, and I was eliminated. And guess what that word was? Camouflage. I'll never forget it as long as I live. If I live to be old and senile and decrepit, I will not. If I forget everything else, I will never forget missing the word camouflage at the spelling bee. My goodness. Yeah. So, I'm going to do a couple more videos here, I think, and then I got stuff to do. But I'm going to talk about some more fighting kit here and some more plans because I'm building some stuff up myself. We got to understand that in the past, in this country, in the United States, everybody was always ready for action. Everybody was always ready for action. That's how the U.S. stayed the way it did for a long time before people got complacent, right? They didn't no longer think that it was their duty to be ready for action, right? At some point, they got lax. They didn't keep, stuff for war fighting on hand. They turned shields into cradles and plows, swords into plows and all that type of thing. We've all heard that before, right? That's what they did. And then now look at where we are. We let a bunch of clowns, we let them do what they wanted to do because they said that they were working in our best interest, but they're not. So it's time to move on from them and get rid of them. We need to get rid of them. That's really the bottom line. We need to get rid of them, and we need to start over, guys. We'll wait until we see the whites of their eyes first. See you in another video.